Imagine a vehicle that can drive you 5 miles for a penny. A vehicle that needs no petrol, just a battery. And that takes the press of a button to start, the squeeze of a lever to stop. That needs no license, no road tax, and you can drive whether you're 14 or 40. A vehicle that costs just £399. The Sinclair C5. It's a new power in personal transport. The Sinclair C5, £399. Want to buy one? Want to see one? Or simply want to read all about it? Just dial 100 and ask for free phone C5. Now.
It's the final part.
Excited.
Do you feel bad for Sir Clive?
No, I actually feel an admiration for the fact that despite every horrific setback, he seems to keep going. Quite inspiring, to be honest.
Still having to powder his bald head for the cameras.
Yeah. Actually, no, I'm not feeling sad. I'm still continuing to be impressed by this man.
Well, here's a quote from him. You can meet with triumph and disaster. I don't get too high when it's supposed to be looking good. And I'm not knocked down when I'm not looking so good. I always get on with whatever the situation is, and I never feel, my God, that's the end of the world. I just get on with the next stage.
That's nice.
It is.
Yeah.
There's a good clip of him when he goes on the Clive Anderson chat show.
Right.
Where Clive Anderson says, did you lose a lot of money launching that?
I think you know the answer to that, Clive, as well, don't you? Yeah. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know the biggest sort of business misstep of the last decade? Did you lose money?
Yeah. Why the fuck are you getting on me on here, if that's what you're going to ask?
Yeah.
The other thing he was perhaps most famous for was the Sinclair C5, which didn't go as well as perhaps it might have done.
That's right.
Did you lose a lot of money in launching that?
Yes, that cost me about £7 million.
£7 million?
Yes.
I mean, if I lost that sort of money, I don't know, I'd go on a cruise, I think. But I mean, does that... I mean, I don't know... Different amounts of money mean different... I mean, most of us here can't imagine even having £7 million, so...
I can't anymore.
Well, you have to, but, I mean, I mean, does that sort of put you off inventing and launching...
Not a bit. Yeah. No, I don't expect everything to work. I mean, the whole business of...
Well, no, neither we will.
You know, you've got to try different things.
Yes.
Some things work, some things don't.
Yeah.
At the C5, we sold quite a few of them, but not enough to make it pay.
Yeah.
I think it's still inspiring. I do. I think there's a lot to be taken from that sort of mindset.
Totally.
Life, isn't it? Life has stumbles and, you know...
As Chumbawamba said.
Yeah, you get knocked down.
Yeah.
Get up again. Exactly.
By 1990, Sinclair
Go to the whole song.
Research.
I'll stop there. I won't do that. I can do the whole song if you want. Okay, it's too much.
Sinclair Research consisted of, in 1990, Sinclair and 2 employees, down from 130 employees in 1985.
Yeah, it's a drop, isn't it?
The next invention he comes up with.
Oh, you imagine you'd have kept the same workspace as well. It's an open plan office. Just the two of them knocking it, rattling around.
Yeah, it was the receptionist and the cleaner as well. Oh, yeah, poor Clive.
Now I do feel sad.
Yeah. He launches next an electric bike.
Okay.
Clive. Once bitten and all that.
Although...
It's called the Zyke. Now, I don't hate the Zyke, particularly in this day and age. There's an argument, and we'll come to this at the end, that Clive Sinclair's mistake, this sounds mad, was that he was too far ahead of his time.
Yes, absolutely. I think there is an element of truth in that. I mean, I use line bikes all the time.
Yeah.
If there's an overlap here, they're hugely popular now.
Are they electric?
They're electric, yeah.
So how does it work?
But you have electrical assistance, as it were, so it makes it go quicker.
Yeah.
Especially here in London and in most cities across the UK now, they'll have these bikes and they're incredibly useful things.
In a way, the things just we weren't ready for them, which is no consolation.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is he's quite a mocked figure, and he shouldn't be. I wonder whether there's part of it is the way he comes across. So can I play you the Tomorrow's World episode? Tomorrow's World, where they have the new inventions of the time.
Yeah.
Where Clive promotes the Zyke.
Sir Clive Sinclair and his electric bicycle. Welcome, Sir Clive. It whizzes
Thank you.
along, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It's quite cute.
Right, let's start with some practicalities. I gather the top speed is 15 miles an hour. Why is that?
That's the legal limit for electric bikes. There was legislation in the 80s. They could be used just like a bike anywhere. They don't need any licence, no insurance. Anyone over the age of 14 can use one.
And that's marvellous. Now, it will go 10 miles before it needs recharging.
Yes.
Can you recharge it quickly?
Yes, just 1 hour for a full recharge, and it'll go up to 30 miles on one of the other options. 10 miles if you don't pedal at all, up to 30 if you do a bit of pedalling.
And you're expecting people to do a bit of both, are
Yes,
you?
I think most will, I think, yes.
And what happens there is he cycles on it in his suit. And he's quite uncomfortable. I mean, Alan Sugar's pointed out that he's bald, nothing wrong with that. But he's got kind of the demeanour of a kind of beta male accountant.
It's not helped by the fact that the wheels are tiny.
The wheels are tiny.
It's like a Brompton, basically.
It looks like a Brompton, yeah,
like-
once again. If he'd launched a fold-up bike, people would have gone, oh, God.
My bet is that the Brompton has been in some way inspired by that. Because it's exactly the same shape.
Yeah.
And it looks quite unusual, doesn't it?
Yes.
But yeah, he cycles on wearing his suit. I have seen this clip, yeah, like a sort of an exhausted commuter heading back.
Like a tired commuter. It's not a bad idea, the electric bike.
Yeah.
Now, you're a real enthusiast when it comes to electric vehicles, but why do you think you're going to have a success with this? How can you be sure? Because the C5 was a failure, and in the mid-80s, 6 electric bicycles were launched, and 5 of them have disappeared.
That's right.
Why will this work?
Well,
do you believe?
all those vehicles had the same problem. They used a lead-acid battery. It was extremely heavy, and so bicycles using them ended up weighing 85 pounds minimum, in fact. To overcome that, we've gone to NiCad batteries, which are very, very much lighter. But that alone wouldn't have solved the problem, because it would still have left a very expensive bike and still a relatively heavy one. So we've had to take a sort of holistic approach. We've got a radical new motor that we've developed for the bike.
And the motor's just down there,
just down
isn't it?
there,
And,
yes.
and the battery in this part.
in the tube, yes.
Well, good luck. I hope you succeed.
Thank you.
It's a commercial failure. It sells 2,000 units. It was originally intended to produce 10,000 a month. Once again, it feels a bit unfair. Then he just won't leave it. This next one, the Zeta, is a good idea. So the Zeta is an engine that you attach to your bike
Yep.
that pushes the wheel around.
Clever.
So you've got a normal bike, because the problem with the Zyke was the tiny wheels.
Yes.
So you've got a normal bike, and then you attach this, and it turns the wheel. It puts like its wheels on your tyre, and when they turn, your wheel turns.
Yeah, it's really clever.
Like a kind of cog system, I suppose. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Doesn't fly.
I think both of those ideas are good ideas. And it's an interesting thing when he's interviewed about the Zyke at the end of that news piece, or whatever it is, where he's a guest on the show, that he says something along the lines of, it just looks unusual, but once people get past that,
Yeah.
he feels it'll be okay. And I think there's truth in that you mentioned the fact that he's ahead of his time. These objects do look unusual, and people are like, what is this? But actually, it's a brilliant idea. It's a bike which, on both accounts, will power you along. That's incredibly useful. The second one, for example, the thing attaches to your wheel, really useful going up hills. So that's a brilliant idea. Electric power thing you can plug in that makes your commute home much easier is a fantastic idea. But they both look a bit weird, and there's an element that goes past that.
They're attached to him.
Yes.
Which is, so before the C5, people were saying, I can't see this working, but it's Clive Sinclair, and he knows what he's doing, so it probably will.
Yeah.
Now people, when they're interviewing him on Tomorrow's World, she genuinely says, the Sinclair C5 didn't work, so why would this?
Yes.
And it's like he's almost become toxic.
Yeah, there's a funny bit at the end of the Tomorrow's World clip as well, where she said, I'm now going to have a go on it, and cycles around the studio while the credits roll, but the credits roll for far too long, so she just has to keep going. And comes quite just silently going around with the theme tune play, doing laps of the studio in a way that really should have been just 10 seconds heading left to right or out of shot.
I suppose also the sadness of that is Clive's gone from launching his product on the top of Alexandra Palace in every news report to being the last thing on Tomorrow's World.
Yeah.
He's not even leading Tomorrow's World.
Yeah,
He's
finally.
the thing just before the credits. And finally, this guy's still having a fucking go. Oh, God. He doesn't stop there. He still believes 25 years on, 2010, that the C5's time has now come.
Did he?
He launches the X1, 25 years on. He says in 2010, a new prototype is being launched within the next year. Technology's moved on quite a bit. There are new batteries available. I just rethought the thing. The C5 was okay, but I think we can do a better job now.
You'd hope so.
Would it have the same name? No, I don't think the C5 was a very good name. So what's the new motor going to be called? He pauses dramatically. At the moment, it's called the X1.
Okay.
He addressed all the problems it appeared to. It had a big battery, tall stance, rain protection via a bubble canopy. Expected to be made available in July 2011 at a price of £595, but it never reached the market.
Oh.
Sad, isn't it? I still feel like... I know he's no longer with us, but you just feel like...
I didn't know that, actually.
Didn't you?
What way, tell me.
No, we mentioned it a couple of times.
I didn't realise he'd passed. I missed that. No, could have eased me with that for me.
I did, because it does come at the end of this episode.
And he knows my dad as well. But way to find out.
I still feel like the C5 might have its day, but maybe that's just because I've spent so much time immersed in Clive Sinclair recently.
Yeah, that's madness, yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. So, times changed. Obviously, he was at the vanguard of computers. This will blow your mind. He's got no interest in the internet. So this is a conversation he had with a journalist. He says, I don't use a computer at all. The company does. So you don't use email? No, I've got people to do that for me. If friends and family want to communicate, they can do that. We've got a computer in the front office, but I get someone to do it for me. This seems odd to me. Why is that? Sheer laziness, I think. I can't be bothered. Do you not know how to operate? I do know how to, but I don't. Sorry to press, but it seems the simplest thing in the world to do your own emails. When I find them annoying, I'd much prefer someone would telephone me if they want to communicate. No, it's not sheer laziness. I just don't want to be distracted by the whole process. Nightmare.
Yeah, I completely get it's fine. Like, it's unusual, but it's fine.
I'd say it's fine, but he is a man whose whole job is computing. At
Yes.
one point. Yeah.
Absolutely. But I still think...
He doesn't like mobile phones.
Yeah.
I often think about it, but I prefer not to be bothered by things. I've got a landline, so anyone wants to phone me can phone me on the landline.
I think we can agree, as we look at the effect mobile phones have on society, that's not that unhealthy an approach to life, is it? Yeah.
This is the big one. It's not that I don't have an electronic calculator.
It's that it blew up.
Of course I do. But a slide rule is more useful for some purposes. What's a slide rule?
I think that's an abacus, isn't it? Is it not?
Say, for example, we were travelling abroad. You can set a slide rule to the ratio of the local currency to your national currency, and at a glance, you can price anything. There an app for that? The app would require you to enter something every time you want a result, whereas the slide rule doesn't.
Okay.
So he's even coming down against the calculator these days. But despite his hatred of the internet, he is the face of the launch of a website.
Right.
Do you want to have a guess at what website it is?
He's the face of a launch of website. He's not the little character in Master Jeeves, is he? He's not like...
No.
Okay.
The Stringfellows website.
What? No. That's not true, is it?
Yeah.
Is it? What?
So he's a bit of a regular at Stringfellows.
Okay. Oh, God. It's now getting bleak. Yeah.
And so they hold an opening at the West End nightclub Stringfellows, which is what would you call it, a strip club?
I don't know what you call it.
An exotic dancing nightclub?
That sounds good, yeah.
You get the gist.
Yeah.
A lap dancing club, I suppose, is the phrase.
Yeah.
They have a launch night, and the guest of honour is, in the words of this article, Britain's best known boffin, Sir Clive Sinclair.
Yeah. They've got a no boffin rule, haven't they, there? Look, no touch.
Stringfellow, on the night, describes him as a little-known ladies' man.
Okay.
Clive doesn't deny it.
Yeah.
And admits that he has been tempted along by the idea of a couple of dozen girls getting their kit off.
Okay.
Honestly, Clive.
It's a bit on the nose.
Come on, Clive. Pretend you're there for other reasons.
Exactly, yeah. You just love dance or something.
Yeah. So he's the one that flicks the switch that launches the internet site www.stringfellow.co.uk.
Okay.
Which includes a range of Stringfellow's lingerie.
All modelled by Sir Clive. That didn't shift.
On his psyche.
Yeah.
So then, incredibly, Sir Clive sits there in front of the
G string or the G5.
an electric G string.
Yeah.
He sits there and he's people watch on Sir Clive has a lap dance. This is insane.
Is this being photographed for a film for the press?
He's covered by the press.
Okay.
2 women perform a lap dance on Clive, who sits there fiddling with a glass of red wine and trying not to look.
Only time at the end of a lap dance someone has asked the dancer for a tenner. I've had a tough few years. Would you mind tucking a tenner in my underpants? I know normally not this way around. But really, the last few ventures haven't gone well.
Well, this is the time when Clive has reached his Casanova years.
Oh.
He was married throughout. From 1962, he married Anne Trevor Briscoe. Just to be clear, Trevor Briscoe is a double-barreled surname.
Okay.
Because it's quite weird for a woman to have the middle name Trevor.
Yeah.
Anne Trevor Briscoe. They've got 3 children, one of whom is an inventor.
Okay.
What did they launch in 2015?
In 2015, let's go for I'm trying to think if it's a similar sort of world to that. I'm going to go with some kind of overlap. Let's go for an electric-powered skateboard.
Electric bike. It was an electric bike. The family are desperate to get...
Yeah.
So he divorced Anne Trevor Briscoe. Mm-hmm. Do you want to have a guess in the year?
When was the Stringfellows website set up?
In the 90s, it wasn't.
Okay.
I'll tell you, it was 1985, the same year as the Sinclair C5 and the crash in the computer lock.
God.
Poor Clive.
That's been up the years, isn't
it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he basically becomes a kind of tabloid fixture for dating younger women.
Really?
Yeah.
How old is he by this point?
He's born in 1940, wasn't he? So he's in his 50s, but he looks about 70. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
27-year-old Vicky Lee sold her story to the News of the World. She uses a pun that you've already used. Right. She doesn't. The headline is, Sir Clive like boffin me, C5 times a night. We shouldn't laugh, but...
Yeah. Well, I hope they were happy. Yeah.
This is unbelievable. This next bit, though, is my favourite. So he dates actress Trisha Walsh, a woman called Sally Farmerlow, who is memorably described as most famous for hang gliding naked.
Right. Okay.
21-year-old accountant and former Mensa member Bernadette Tynan. He's engaged to her. And then in 1996, he's seen with Ruth Kensett, who's a 21-year-old actress and sister of...
Patsy
Kensett.
Oh.
And who was Patsy Kensett dating in 1996?
I don't know. Who would I...
Liam Gallagher.
Really?
So at the same time...
No. Patsy Sinclair was hanging out with...
When
they're in their pomp.
Do you think there was ever a double date?
Surely. That's what you want. Get Liam and Noel to, drive around and the C5. That's how you get it back into the mainstream, Clive. You have access to the hottest rock property around. That's how you make it cool. Get the Gallagher brothers in. Yeah. Coming on at Nebworth in 2 C5s. Brilliant.
He bristles at the suggestion. He's having a midlife crisis. No, I don't think so. I just always like to have a girlfriend, and that's what I did.
Okay.
His biggest relationship is with Angie Bowness, who's former Miss England. So normally we wouldn't go into this stuff, obviously, but it's incredible that it became such a big part of Sir Clive's story.
Yeah.
He met her at Stringfellows in the late 90s, where she worked as a lap dancer. She said, we were at dinner, James Hewitt was chatting to me, and me and Clive just got on really well.
Oh.
They get engaged in 2010. Sir Clive has publicly shared the fact that he had no need for Viagra.
He didn't need to publicly share that, Clive. Okay. I used one of the old motors from his C5.
Angie has said she was disappointed with younger men. Mm-hmm. Some of the younger men that she's been out with that disappointed her. Mm-hmm. Robbie Williams, Vernon Kay and Prince Albert of Monaco.
Oh.
So Sir Clive is quite the...
Absolutely.
And she paid tribute to his gentlemanly conduct. He didn't use a lot of words that I'd never heard of. I like pop music like All Saints. All I could find in his flat were classical CDs, and I like to watch TV, and he prefers to read books.
Oh.
Hey, it's nice, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's quite sweet.
Do you want to hear Clive's take on it?
Yes.
One of the funny things with very pretty girls is that a lot of the time men think they won't have a chance for them, so they don't ask them out. I do ask, and sometimes they come out with me. Quite often they come out with me. Probably out of curiosity or something. It's a bit like his approach to inventing. He just goes for it. But there you go. They got divorced in 2017.
Okay.
This is an incredible thing about his later life. He lived in Trafalgar Square.
Wow.
So
Where?
there was some
Portland?
flats being built in Trafalgar Square.
Yeah.
And he bought 2 of them. He said, I don't need
So
to
he's still loaded then?
Yeah. He said, I don't need to bother getting a Christmas tree. It's a bit unfair, isn't it? He bought the first 2, and he says, so for a period, because that was the first one to take a flat in the development, he was the only resident of Trafalgar Square.
Wow.
Got into poker, played late night poker. He won the first series of Celebrity Poker Club, defeating Keith Allen, the awful actor.
Yeah.
The C5, what happened to that? Well, it's become a kind of cult thing. I think that's nice to say, isn't it? It's much more famous than almost any other failed invention.
That's really interesting because you're right, people didn't buy it en masse, but everyone knows about it.
Everyone knows about it. It now goes for $6,000. There's owners club. People have modified their vehicles, adding big wheels, jet engine. Someone has driven a C5 at 150 miles an hour.
Wow. That's amazing.
Good, isn't it?
That's a brave person.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I think it's safe to say electric cars are on the up.
yeah.
It's just a shame it's Elon Musk rather than Sir Clive Sinclair, isn't it? But one of the interesting ones is Norway has 90% of electric cars.
Yeah.
And this is because of 80s icons, not Sir Clive. So in 1989, there's some environmentally conscious friends in Norway. They imported some electric cars, kind of converted Fiat Pandas.
Right.
They basically didn't want to pay all the toll roads and stuff like that because they thought these are environmentally friendly. So with members of AHA, Morten Harket and they started a campaign of civil disobedience, just driving these roads, refusing to pay.
Yeah.
They refused to pay. The cars were towed, then sold at public auction, and that no one was interested in them. So these people bought them back and then just started driving them around again.
Great.
And it worked. And in 2023, 82.4% of private vehicles sold in Norway were electric. It's 92.1% now.
Amazing.
So that is an 80s electrical vehicle positive story. Clive wouldn't have been ahead of his time in Norway. And I suppose that is the question at the end is, was he ahead of his time? There's so many quotes from Clive. So in 1985, he basically predicts the Alexa.
Really?
It'll be in the house and you'll be able to talk to it and it'll talk back to you and you'll sit down in front of it and it'll recognise you and wish you a good morning and mean it and understand everything you say. And then he did this speech, which was actually to the US Congressional Clearinghouse on the future in 1984. And he predicted driverless cars. He said, I anticipate totally automatic personal vehicles, still with all the freedom in space and time of today's cars, but guided by machine intelligence. Powered by electricity drawn from internal batteries in towns and on minor roads from main supply on highways, possibly inductively coupled into the vehicle. These latter-day cars will be nigh on silent and clean, but above all, free from human fallibility. It will not need to be restricted to 55 to 70 miles per hour on main roads. Speeds of over 200 miles per hour should be safely and economically possible. I'm not sure we've got that yet.
Still amazing that he could be something like that. You know, Sir Clive's the only person brave enough to ask out Alexa. Do you know that? She said yes. Because most people, they don't have a gas.
No, exactly.
But he did it. And they were happy for many, many years.
Yeah. He basically predicts the mobile phone. Carried on about the person. These wireless devices can allow us to telephone and be telephoned wherever we choose. I would not need to know the whereabouts of the person I was calling, only his number, since this would be particular to him wherever he is instead of a fixed instrument as is usual now.
Yeah.
He predicts less than physically dangerous criminals could be fitted with tiny transporters so we know their whereabouts to a high degree of precision. That's happened.
That's the ankle bracelet, what they call it.
Yeah. Should this raise fears in Orwellian disguise?
Ankle sag, not ankle bracelet.
Ankle bracelet.
Very dainty bracelet they put on hardened criminals here in Britain. little heart on it is lovely.
It's mad the thing he said, like he said, the real revolution, which is just starting, is one of intelligence. Electronics is replacing man's minds, just as steam replaced man's muscles.
He's such a forward thinker, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like his ability to see ahead, what society's going to want. I think there is some truth that he was ahead of his time. I think that seems to be crucial.
And up to his death, he was working on designs, believing that the flying car was technically possible.
Wow.
So that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Here's a nice quote from screenwriter and game journalist Gary Witcher. He said, Sir Clive was the true father of the modern computing age. He was the British Jobs and Wozniak. Even his failures, like the C5, why do you have to bring it up every time? When viewed through the lens of history, show how visionary and ahead of his time he was. He saw a future of efficient and accessible electric transit long before it became mainstream as it is today.
Do you think his eulogies at his funeral also mentioned the fact the C5 didn't work out? That's why I say, let's get something off. We all know, we're all here. He lost a lot of money on that.
He's buried in one.
Lowered very slowly.
Yeah.
In tribute to how fast it drove, yeah.
He died September 2021, and Lord Sugar tweeted, "Good to see so many tributes to the late Sir Clive Sinclair, a pioneering inventor and national treasure. My dealings with him started in 1986. He kick-started consumer electronics in the UK with his amplifier kits, then calculators, watches, mini TV, and of course the Sinclair ZX. Not to forget his quirky electric car."
Come on, Alan.
R.I.P. friend.
Amazing. Now buried 5 feet under.
Alan can't fucking resist.
Yeah. So needless. Not to forget.
So, would you drive one?
Would I drive one? I would drive one, as I discussed earlier, I just think a family resort amongst pine trees.
Yeah.
I'm talking Centre Parks. Or, a little island where there's basically a rule for no traffic. That sort of thing, if you could populate somewhere like that with these little things, they could be really fun. I would not take them out on the road because I've seen the footage of it and it is insane. It is a death wish. But I think there's a charm to them, and I like the fact that it's this invention. It didn't work out. But I think what would be fun would be a group of friends out somewhere safe where you can just have a little tootle around on them. I could completely see an afternoon of those would be great fun.
I don't think there's many products that have captured the imagination in the same way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Genuinely, if you mention it, people smile and laugh.
Yeah, completely.
Which isn't what he was going for.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about Sir Clive at the end?
Yeah, I mean, I just love his approach to, well, that hasn't worked out. But genuinely, it's that spirit of let's just give it another go. Let's see what's next. And also, he has such an ability for seeing what will be required. He may not have got it completely right at all times, but things like the electric bike, look at all of these inventions are hugely important. The home computer. Like, what I find quite interesting is when you watch back the footage of reporters and news items from that time, when they speak to them, there's often quite a condescending tone from the presenters. Yeah. They're like, so this little electronic we'll see how this is going to... It's like forgetting the fact that this guy is a genius and has come up, he's brought the home computer in, he's invented the calculator, he's the digital wristwatch, all this stuff. But they all have this tone like he's stupid. Obviously it didn't work out, this idea. I think that's part of the genius of this guy and why it's so brilliant is that he's just trying things. He's just like, well, let's just see. This is an exciting area. Let's explore it. Let's see what we can do with it. If you can bring that into your life, what a brilliant thing.
Be more Sir Clive.
To some extent, yeah. The idea of just trying things. If you're passionate about something, giving it a go and not worrying too much.
Is this where you saved you out an electric bike?
Exactly.
The electric unicycle coming out.
It's sort of like an electric bike meets a calculator meets a wristwatch. Yeah, exactly. I like the guy.
Everyone listening, well, you can draw your own conclusions, but hopefully has a newfound respect for Sir Clive Sinclair.
Absolutely.
Although we have laughed at him a lot for the last 4 hours.
Yeah. We do need to get footage of you driving around on one. There's got to be one in London that you can do just a lap for the social.
It would be a great stag do thing as well.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be fantastic. Well, what's a nice little town which has got pedestrian areas where you can sort of like, Berlin, nice parks. Great. There's money in that.
Perfect.
We'll look into it. Loved that. Great guy. I'm a big fan of that, Clive.
That's it for this series of Museum of Pop Culture. It has flown by. Another mad genius, and thank the world for them. Thank you for listening. If you want to join the fan club, there's plenty more episodes available, including video episodes of our fan club only episodes, including the greatest adverts of all time. And you can join them live on Zoom when we do them. Also, you get ad-free, you get all the series on the day of release. Need I go on? Okay, let me go on. There's also going to be a proper live show with free tickets to that. Guaranteed ticket or streaming link if you don't want to come to the country for it. And there's a pin badge somewhere as well. Simply head to museumofpopculture.supportingcast.fm to get all of the details and find out more. You can click that below now. I'm going to give you 2 seconds to do that. Here we go. There you go. Good clicking. We genuinely love the community that's built around this show. It is so brilliant to hear from all of you. Thank you for all your support so far and for helping the episodes happen. We will see you next time when we discuss the wild and unbelievable story, It's a Royal Knockout. Oh my word, could it be more topical? Museum of Pop Culture is a Keep It Light production hosted by me, Josh Widdicombe. Research is by Emily Pickthall, additional editing by Will Fitzpatrick, design by John Gregory, and music by Pickle and Button. That's all you need to know. Goodbye.